Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's RsSavage, and today I'll be sharing with you guys my 500% Zamorak solo kill, as it was a huge accomplishment for me, and I thought some of these techniques might help you guys out as well. If you guys are looking for more of a Zamorak guide and learning more about the boss, I do have 3 more videos on Zamorak that I will leave in the description below for you guys to check out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Here we go, getting right into things. I won't be going too in depth of my setup, but you can see it's pretty high end with the full Crypt Loom setup and the FSOA. Also for my EOFs, I have the Gothic Staff on, the Armadyl Battle Staff, and Saren Godbow in my inventory. And if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to ask me in the comment section below and I would be happy to answer them for you. Also, if you guys have any advice, I would also really appreciate it. Just let me know in the comment section, as this is not a perfect run, but is basically just what I did for my 500% kill. And let's get right into things. So the Edict Order I did was 2, 4, 6, 1, 5, 3. And you can see here I'm using my Sunshine and a Vulnerability Bomb and Smoke Cloud on the boss, as well as stacking a Shard very shortly, because I will also be using that method. And then another thing I like to do is lower the gray HP just a little bit before I hop on the pad. And I have been able to one cycle at this Enrage, but for this attempt right here I was not able to, as RNG does play a little bit of a factor. But you could also probably lower it even more all the way down to the bottom and potentially get more skips, but you know, it does take more time to do that. And here we go with the melee prayer and devotion for the first melee mechanic, and that deals with it very well. And you can see usually for these bombs, I just like to debilitate. I throw a resonance in, and it kind of changes depending on, you know, what I think the bomb's gonna hit me for in the, you know, given scenario. But honestly, at the beginning of the fight and going onwards is a little repetitive. And I do switch up sometimes what I do depending on cooldowns. You'll see like I'll Omni and Wild Magic the Witch right here, just to, you know, speed up things. And then I will drain that gray HP bar just a little bit. So let's fast forward and get over to that point. So if you guys didn't know, during the gray HP bar, you won't get any real mechanics. It's just going to cycle between the 5 range attacks and then switch to 5 magic attacks and then so on. So basically, I'm kind of just on autopilot for a little bit, you know, using some of my thresholds and whatnot to get the health down, but I'm mainly focusing on my buff bar, making sure Animate Dead is still up, my Overload is good, Prayers are good, Grim is good, my Hellhound, I want to make sure the HP is good on that, and also my Aura and whatnot. A whole lot of stuff to, you know, fix if anything has gone wrong, to make sure the kill is, you know, going on its way. Also making sure to stack shards is very important. But you can see I just did my rotation, so I threw down Sunshine, made sure Incite Fear spell was on, I did a Tsunami, I did a Staff spec, and then I like to Limitless Tendril, and then I like to do a G-Conk, and then once the bar kind of reaches the top, I'll throw down an Omni, and then do I think a Wild Magic, and then ABS once, and then I will Asphyx, and then go back into ABS if it's not phased by then, and then just kind of the same thing once again. Coming in and killing the witch and the demon. And I don't really tell you out if I mess up the demon part and it comes out, but it does make it more difficult. You can kind of just kite it and avoid the melee hits from it, because, you know, they do stack up a bit, and it can make it a little bit more scary, of course. So regarding my setup, I did say I brought the Saren Godbow in my EOF, and you can see I'm using it right now. But honestly, it doesn't even seem like I should be taking it with me during these, you know, high enrage kills. I'm also utilizing my Bladed Dive switch into a Chaos or Overpower, just to, you know, help out with the HP and whatnot, and making sure like my Omni isn't on cooldown when I actually need it. So like strats like that are kind of nice to help with this gray HP bar, but you can see it kind of does heal up as well, so you can't just spend your whole time just sitting here. So that's why it also is kind of important to do a little bit of DPS. But I have seen people just immediately charge the pads, and it's not a bad strategy if you want, you know, more time efficient kills and push Enrage even faster. But for me personally, I've had a much more comfortable time lowering it just a little bit. So right here, you know, I jump on at like 70k, and then the Tendril does help a lot with lowering it, and then I will throw in the Omni, that helps quite a bit, Wild Magic, ABS, and then I'll do an Asphyx, and then back into ABS. And you know, I am shredding the health, which is really nice, but I am using my Crypt Loom, I don't have a Calc, so you know, that kind of stuff doesn't allow me to skip every time. but it makes it more safe and I enjoy it a lot. Another few things I would like to point out is my food. So I'm using the blue blubberfish with the Sarah Brews, and believe it or not, this combo actually worked better for me personally rather than using like sailfish soup with the Sarah Brews. And you might be thinking like, oh, how do you like out eat mechanics sometimes when you mess up? But I feel like the times where I actually messed up with mechanics, I kind of died anyways with the other food. Like, it was really hard to out eat it, and when I actually was able to out eat it, you know, I would just have lost so much adren, because you do lose adren when you eat like sailfish soup. Unlike blue blubberfish, you will not be losing adren with that. So you'll see during my phase 7 how it kind of works, and you know, using soul split during those 4 typeless autos kind of makes up for it, as long as you're outputting enough DPS to, you know, keep your HP up there. And as well as switching to blood barrage is not a bad idea whatsoever. You know, maintain that HP and continue doing damage, because once again, phase 7 is, you know, it's a combination of dealing a lot of damage and knowing how to use your defensive abilities properly. The other thing here is during this last edict charge, if you're using the FSOI, you gotta kind of be careful with your timing on it, because it does have that 1 minute cooldown. So you can actually not use the FSOI spec on that one, but just do your Sunshine Tsunami, and then, you know, not have to worry about it. Or you can actually go into your FSOI spec, and if it's a higher Enrage, you might not have much of a problem, because you have to, you know, deal more damage, so it could work out. Or if you're, you know, doing too much damage, you can just slow down, or even go in Furnace for a minute, just, you know, not get hit and whatnot. But, you know, that's kind of the strategy I've been going by, and I try to phase into the next one when FSOI has like 30 seconds left on the cooldown. So that's kind of what has worked for me. So getting into phase 7 here, you can see I dropped down my Sunshine, killing the runes as fast as possible, and I, you know, got into my FSOA spec. And Tsunami, I'm praying melee. I used Devotion for that first melee hit. I'm using a Vitality Pot, getting my HP to 26k. That bomb kind of doesn't do much to me, honestly. And then I'm using Soul Split as well as Debilitate, and the Kriplum effect is also helping me tremendously, doing as much DPS as I can, using Resonance at the very last second so it doesn't get sniped, into using a Disruption Shield as well as Shield Dome. And I actually didn't sign there, which was pretty awesome, and I'm super proud about, you know, getting that down to the part where I'm, you know, not messing up as much. But that took me a while to get the hang of. It might look easy, but it certainly takes a lot of practice and repetition to get phase 7 down to kind of a place that I have it now. At this point in the fight, you can see we were not successful in doing a 1 cycle. We just didn't deal enough damage before Zamorak became immune. And now that we have these next set of runes, we're actually going to not kill them right away. And the bomb charging up at the top is not significant, because we're planning on killing Zamorak before that one ever hits us. So there's 2 kind of methods you can do. If the HP is, you know, at a point where you don't think you can really make it, for example, if it was like above 100k, I would probably sit here and stack my 10 shards again to use Shatter and get that HP. But you can see it's just below 60k, and I was confident enough with my rotation, with my FSOI and everything, to deal that amount of damage in the time frame. So the method that I use here was Natural Instinct into a Tsunami into a Staff spec, and then we're also going to use Metamorphosis, because this has a greater effect than Sunshine, and you will see how much damage we're about to output. Also, using like a bleed on this rune is kind of nice, because it allows you to get back and then, you know, deal the damage in the small time window that you have. So you should be praying melee there, as I kind of forgot, but that big red bomb will hit you super hard. There's honestly kind of no way to deal with it unless you Immort at that point. But, you know, our plan was to do the damage, and we were able to do it, and we didn't sign with the successful kill, which was awesome. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy. If you guys want to support the channel even more and allow me to make more content like this, consider becoming a channel member by clicking that join button next to the subscribe button. By no means should you feel obligated to do so, and any support is very much appreciated. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure to turn on your notifications to never miss a new stream or video. Also hit that like button and subscribe for me, and I'll see you in the next one.